on every policy, from the border to energy, from immigration to education. Crooked Joe Biden always takes the side that helps America's enemies every time. The guy doesn't have a clue. He helps the enemies, and now we know why. Because Joe Biden is corrupt, and he's incompetent, and he's totally compromised. They are bribing our president. They're bribing our president. And you see this. This week, the House Republicans published explosive evidence. And I'll tell you, they've done a great job. They've really done a fantastic job. They really have. Amazing. Very explosive evidence proving once and for all that Crooked Joe received $40,000 in cash and $200,000. Every day you see it's a different check. But $40,000 in cash laundered out of China, and the real number, and when the final results are in, you're going to see millions and millions of dollars. Remember during the debate, Chris Wallace, how's he doing, by the way? Chris Wallace was here. And I said, why are you getting $3.5 million from the mayor of Moscow's wife? And Biden couldn't answer the question, but Chris Wallace came in and helped him. You're not allowed to ask that question. Why not? 2 years later, that became a big subject. Why did they get $3.5 million from the mayor of Moscow's wife? It's a horrible thing. We brought it up, and he wouldn't let it be. I said, who am I debating here? Am I debating two people or one person? But I've had that every single debate just about, right? The laptop from hell said Joe was getting 10%, and now we have the cold, hard proof that Crooked Joe got exactly 10% of a very big payment from China. He got the money, got it in his account. That's what, could you imagine if I got it? I would be, man. They say, we are thinking about reinstituting the death penalty. That's why the number one phrase out there right now, if you look at it, the number one phrase, and I'm greatly honored by it, but they have hats and everything all over the place, not sold by us, although we may start it. Why not? Trump was right about everything. We've been right about everything. And 3 years ago in that same debate, Crooked Joe stood on the debate stage and said, I quote, I have not taken a penny from any foreign source ever in my life. I mean, that's one of the greatest lies in history, right? And he said no one in his family had ever taken or made any money from China. Well, he's better off if he puts it just China, because how about all the others? But China was a big payer to them. Now we have pictures of the checks deposited directly into his account. If Joe Biden was not guilty, and everybody knows he was, he just lies. There's never been anybody that lied. Listen, the other day they were talking about truckers. He said he was a trucker. Then they were talking about airline pilots. He said he was an airline pilot. No, he said he was an airline pilot. Then they were talking about tractor operators. He said, when I operated a tractor, he never operated a tractor. But probably his biggest sin of all, to all of those that like sports and love golf and everything, he said he was a 6-handicap golfer. Now, I have to tell you, you don't know many of you about golf, but 6-handicap's a pretty good golfer. You know, they're percentage-wise not many. And I watched him take a swing. He's not a 6. He's not a 12. He's not a 25, and he's not a 36. You know, 36 is the max. He doesn't qualify for any handicap. He's a 6. I have friends, they're very good golfers. They're 6 handicaps. I say, Joe Biden says he's the equivalent of you. No, it's just a lie. Everything's a lie. The whole thing is a lie. The whole election was a lie. As president, I will be creating a Truth and Reconciliation Commission to shed sunlight on every dark and rotten corner of Washington, D.C., starting with Biden. And you got to understand, we were doing a job. I got rid of Comey. I got rid of the FBI top guys. I got rid of them all. Boy, oh boy. If I didn't, I probably wouldn't be standing here talking to you, because that was a bad thing they were planning. It was good instinct. A friend of mine said, very strong political person that everybody knows, he said, that's going to be the biggest mistake. Firing this guy, when I fired him, will be a big mistake. Look at what's happening. And last week he said it was one of the greatest political instinct moves that he's ever seen, firing Comey, because there were bad things planned. And we learned all about them, because that was like throwing a rock into a hornet's nest when I fired that guy. And then we learned about the insurance policy. Remember the insurance policy? Remember the two? Darling, darling, right? Darling, she's going to win, isn't she? Yes, darling. She's going to win 100 million to 1. But in case she doesn't win, we have an insurance policy. I said, whoa. That was the beginning, right, fellas, or all you guys? That was the beginning when they said we have an insurance policy. That meant that they had a policy that if I won, they're going to get me out of office. These people are corrupt people. Got rid of everyone, got rid of all of these people. And then we had the COVID. We had to take care of it. We had a lot of things happen. We had a lot of amazing successes. We did a great job in COVID. We never got the credit for the job we did. We let Republican governors keep their states open. Many of them did. Henry McMaster, South Carolina, did a great job. South Dakota did a great job. Tennessee did a great job. A lot of them. They kept them open. No? I will say this, every Republican governor did much better than the best Democrat governor, it's true. What they did, because some of them kept them open, some of them was not too many, frankly, but some opened up pretty quickly. But the Democrats kept them closed like it seemed like forever in all instances, and they really did a terrible job. Crooked Joe puts China first, Russia first, Venezuela first, Ukraine first, illegal aliens first, environmental lunatics first, everyone else first. He puts them ahead of our country. But he puts America last. He puts our workers last. He puts our industries last. He puts your families last. He puts everything that's good last. That's what happens. I put America first every single time. And our country is under the highest level of threat. You saw that the other day. It came out of a lot of different people's mouths. Highest threat that we've ever had, and yet all they do with the DOJ and FBI is, let's go after Trump and his family. Let's go after Trump. It's pretty sad. But it's no wonder that crooked Joe Biden and the far-left lunatics are desperate to stop us by weaponizing law enforcement, which we can't allow. But it does mean that the next president is able to say to the Attorney General, you know what, there's somebody running over there, and he happens to be a Democrat, and he's doing very well, and he's killing me in the polls. Indict him! Because that's what they did. This has never happened in our country. It happens in third world countries. Never happened in our country before. By weaponizing law enforcement. They go out and they weaponize law enforcement. It's really high-level election interference, and the congressmen and all of the people that we introduced today are doing a lot of things about it. People are very concerned about it because it really brings us into a very low level as a country.